matchup. The real showdown, gentlemen. Brady versus Goodell. Let's get you guys caught up on the latest right now. The NFLPA on Tuesday filed hundreds of documents in federal court related to Patriots quarterback Tom Brady and his appeal on his 4-game suspension. The filings included a transcript of Brady's appeal hearing before NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. Among the revelations, Brady said he wasn't told he could be disciplined for not turning over his cell phone to investigators. Now, after seeing this and hearing this, the violin's playing over here. Skip Bayless, has your opinion changed about the Tom Brady suspension?
Molly, I wish my chair had a seat belt because I may need one before this one's
buckle up,
over.
baby.
Stephen A. Smith, after what I read last night and what I heard, and you can yawn all you want because I'm going to back you into the deepest corner you've ever been backed into on this show. I believe more than ever that Tom Brady is 100% innocent as charged and as convicted in the court of public opinion. I believe after all that I read last night, thankfully it was all released to the public, that Tom Brady was, in fact, ambushed and railroaded and ultimately framed by an NFL and a commissioner who constantly misled the public with exaggerated and irrelevant claims that prompted most people to leap to the conclusion, the premature conclusion, that Tom Brady is a liar and a cheater. He swore under testimony on appeal that he was 100% innocent, that he knew absolutely nothing about overinflated, underinflated footballs, any footballs that got tampered with whatsoever, about deflated footballs, because he said, my equipment people told me they knew nothing about it, and I took that as the truth coming from them. So, now we had Ted Wells on appeal, admitting that he told Tom Brady that nothing you can do if you don't give me your texts or you don't give me your emails, you cannot be punished for not giving up those things. And we also have already heard from Tom Brady that even before Wells interrogated him, the NFLPA told Tom Brady under no circumstance will you be forced to give up your right to privacy and your cell phone. And again, omitting the fact was the NFL that already they had in their possession all the texts from Jastrzemski that Tom Brady had sent to him. So they had plenty already. But then Ted Wells says, in all my 40 years of in this business, I've never seen anyone with such an ill-advised decision as Tom Brady not giving me my texts and emails that I requested from him because I lost credibility in Tom Brady. You know why he said that? Because that's all they had, was that Tom Brady failed to cooperate, as you say. That's the only reason he had to say that, is because that's all they had on Tom Brady. And then Brady said that he knew nothing about PSI until that October 16, 2014 game against the Jets, in which he found his footballs were dramatically overinflated. So he said, what are the rules? And he got a rule sheet and started having his equipment people take it out to the referees before games and say, hey, here are the rules, because the refs didn't know the rules. You can't inflate those footballs up to 16 PSI. So Brady said, hey, inflate mine to 12.5 because that's the legal limit. And he does like them a little underinflated, though he did not talk about that in his appeals interrogation. So in the end, I think this commissioner is looking worse and worse.
You awake?
I respectfully disagree. Yes, I'm awake. I respectfully disagree. I hear where you're coming from. But as usual, so many of you folks misconstrue the argument and try to change the narrative. The reality of the situation is clear. The NFL, to my knowledge, did not say, Tom Brady, you deflated the footballs. Tom Brady, you cheated. What they said was the footballs were below the legal limit. We're investigating this matter. It's something that we're taking very seriously. We're sending someone to investigate the matter. We're paying them $5 million to conduct an independent investigation, even though we all know it's not independent. Okay? And their findings will resonate with us and lead to whatever decision I have the authority to make under my jurisdiction as commissioner of the National Football League, with the power bestowed upon me by 32 owners, which you guys co-signed in a collective bargaining agreement, okay, and agreed to make sure that I have. That is what this comes down to. You know, when we get pulled over by the cops or we show up in the court of law, what happens is that they tell us that ignorance of the law is no excuse. Okay? The fact that you didn't know means very, very little to us because that's irrelevant because the bottom line is it's on the books, and if you don't know, that's your problem. Well, here's where that theory and that belief applies with the power of the commissioner. Certainly, it's not written down. If you don't give me your cell phone, okay, you can be punished. If you don't give me your text messages, it can be punished. But what it does say is that the rulings that are handed down are at the discretion of the commissioner. And if he believes and interprets it that you are uncooperative, then you have put yourself behind the 8 ball because you are not dealing with the court of law. You are dealing with the court of the NFL, which Roger Goodell has complete supervision over. Judge, jury, executioner. Figuratively speaking,
Okay.
of course. He has the right, hold on. He has the right to come down with a ruling. He has the right to hear your appeal about his ruling. Now, you can go to court and you can make that argument from a legalese perspective, but if it was all about the legalities, why is the judge saying, I need both of y'all up in here August 12th and then again August 19th? I would encourage y'all to make a settlement. Why is he saying that, Skip? He's a judge. He could easily hear the case and sit there and say, okay, I will make this ruling. But what he's doing is, while he may find Goodell's decision-making questionable,
yes,
he's also highlighting the fact that I have no jury. I don't have any business involved in this. Keep in mind, Skip, Steve Garvey played for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I covered him.
First baseman, you covered him. He once took a case, went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and even the court said, regardless of how idiotic an arbitrator's decision is, that arbitrator has the right to engage in idiocy according to the collective bargaining agreement because the commissioner has this power. You know that as a player, you know that as an organization, you know that as an owner, and you still put yourself in a position where you give Roger Goodell wiggle room to question your personal integrity when it comes to this matter. I am not saying that Tom Brady deflated footballs. I'm saying it's his fault that the suspicion has rested on his shoulders because he didn't handle it the way it was supposed to be handled, and he deserves what he gets because I don't want him going for 4 games. I hope the suspension is reduced. I wouldn't mind if it was completely eradicated because I think the NFL is better when we got to watch Tom Brady. But he brought the damn thing on himself.
Do you think
And
he's
that's the
been
bottom line.
wrongly accused? That's all I want to know.
Yes.
I think you do think.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay. So, given that, you're saying it really doesn't matter because you gave this man the power to be judge, jury, executioner.
Let me say this to you.
Okay.
Skip Bayless, there's a lot of parents out here. I'm one. Now, I'm going to tell my child, you make a mistake. I want to know from you what the situation is. Lie to me, withhold information from me, and it is at your own peril, according to me. I'm not playing games. I don't want to hear what everybody else has to say. I don't want to hear what everybody else feels. I am telling you what this is what Roger Goodell does.
Okay, but
this is what he does.
You don't think that Tom Brady lied to Roger Goodell, right?
I do believe that he's lied. I do believe that he engaged in some duplicitous behavior, if not flat out lie or withhold stuff, maybe to protect somebody else in the organization, maybe to protect Belichick, maybe to protect the New England Patriots. I don't believe he sat up there and said, I want you guys to deflate these footballs below the legal limit. But I do believe he was complicit in the organization, whether it be Belichick himself, somebody else, or the organization overall. I do believe he was complicit in trying to protect folks, and he did it at his own peril because everybody, from Bill Polian to Herm Edwards to all the NFL aficionados throughout various networks, they always say, when the commissioner is coming for you, just be honest, because you're at his mercy. Tom Brady, arrogant as he was, thought he was above the fray, and he brought this headache on himself. That is my argument. Not that he deflated footballs. Not that he has something to do with the deflating of footballs. This dude, his arrogant tendency, because he's Tom Brady, decided that you could get away with trying to circumvent the commissioner.
Okay, do you think he knew all along by being complicit that this was going on behind closed doors, that the balls were being deflated?
I think that Tom Brady knew the balls were deflated, but I don't believe that it's one of those situations where he believes that they were breaking rules. He just wants the football the way that he wants footballs. I don't even think he was thinking about the 12 and a half.
I don't think he knew anything about it.
Right.
I believe him.
I believe that part. But I also believe that he was complicit in trying to divert Commissioner Roger Goodell and his investigation away from where it was supposed to be. I think he did that on purpose. And let me tell you something right now. I don't care what anybody says. Are you a liar? Are you a cheater? I don't think so. No, he did nothing.
He was ambushed. He had no idea what people were talking about.
That's Skip.
No.
The one thing, none of us here can call Tom Brady stupid. The man is a smart man. His decision making is exceptional. Let's be clear. His decision making on a multitude of levels is just exceptional. He is no dummy. So don't tell me he didn't know what they were doing. Don't tell me he didn't know, meaning the commissioner, what they were coming for. Tom Brady decided that he was bigger than a typical player and he could be evasive or what have you, and he paid the price. And this headache that he is experiencing, he brought on himself. I believe that.
But he wasn't being told he was being evasive during the Wells interrogation.
Why I gotta tell you?
Okay.
Why I gotta tell you? Why I gotta tell you anything? I'm asking you questions. Answer my questions.
Okay, but he's already been told by his Players Association he didn't have to give up anything. So why should he?
But then you know what? Throw them under the bus. Say you got bad advice. You know what? If Tom Brady said in his deposition, I got bad advice from the NFL Players Association, I go like this. Whoa. Now, that's a different argument there. I can live with that because I believe that. I believe whether it's Kessler or the Players Association that he may have gotten bad advice in terms of because their inclination is to fight over everything. I think they'd fight over a cup of coffee. That's how pathetic the situation is between the NFL and the Players Association. So if he said something like that, that would be different. But that's not the impression Tom Brady gave.
So it's okay to ruin this man's reputation over what you just talked about.
I don't think it's okay to ruin his reputation, but I think that he deserves culpability in it. He played a role in his own demise. And that, to me, is what you're trying to gloss over. That's where you and I disagree. We don't disagree about the deflated footballs. We don't disagree about his role in the deflated footballs. But there's a level of culpability that I am willing to attach to him because of this whole fiasco that you are giving him a pass on. And I disagree with that.
Innocent.
No. You ain't that innocent. That's the problem.
We got to leave this issue here, but we'll continue to track this story. So Brady has a tough fight ahead of him. You know who else always plays Brady tough? Rex Ryan and that Bills defense. We're here at Bills training camp having a lot of fun today, just getting started. Coming up, another complicated NFL issue. Ray Rice, Jamel Hill sat down with him. We're going to get into that next. He's asking for a second chance. What do the guys think? They will give their thoughts. There you see us, Pittsburgh, New York, the site of Bills training camp. This is First Take.